Gonzalez, the Vice President of Student Services at the College of Biomedical Equipment Technology. And I'm excited for you. I just want to congratulate you on receiving the AAMI scholarship.
Thank you.
The Mars Biomedical Scholarship.
Thank you.
The Ohm's Law Foundation Scholarship. And the Glyn Hopkins Scholarship, which is very close to my heart. So, Jose, tell me a little bit about yourself and what brought you to CBET.
So, previous to my current job, I do work for Medtronic. I work in their service and repair department, diagnosing surgical spine ENT equipment. Previous to that, I was a locksmith for about 10 years, doing automotive and commercial. What brought me to CBET was, funnily enough, out of 45 techs, I just so happened to be the one to go to a house call to rekey their house. The person who I rekeyed their house is now my mentor. Her name is Jewel Newell, and I want to thank her for everything up to this point. She's been a great help. I am a very outspoken person. I like to talk about everything. So while I was there, I was telling her maybe I want to kind of try something a little bit different. I felt a little burnt out from that, being 10 years in the field and reaching my goals as far as that. I wanted to kind of maybe pursue something in CompTIA A+, maybe get some classes done with that. And she told me, well, do you know what Biomed technology is? And I had no clue what that is. I said, what is it? Please tell me more.
Great industry.
So she told me about it. She told me her career as far as that, and how everything that I do was a hard skill. And I had the soft skills as far as talking and everything, my customer service skills, that I could use that towards that. And we talked about it for a little bit. I kind of kept it in the back of my head. And it wasn't until a few months later I ended up leaving that job for a little bit. I went to another company where I repaired air concentrators. And I fell in love with it. Just the company itself wasn't that good, but the work that they did, I loved it because I took something that was broken, needed some repairs. I brought it up to spec. With air concentrators, you want it to be at 96% purity, and just making sure that I was making it safe for somebody, for the next person to use. It goes in my heart. I've always been a people person. I love helping people out, and just doing that. It might be in the background, but it's okay. I'm okay with that. And I thought about it and said, you know what, let me call Jewel. I want to call her and see what I can do to kind of get a little bit more into this. And I gave her a call. Funnily enough, she sort of remembered me. That's got to be a little bit of a weird call. Like, hey, I'm the guy that worked on your house. Do you remember me or not? And funnily enough, I actually had a deep freezer that was dropped off at her house, left at her front door, and I asked her if I could just bring it in for her, because I wasn't going to let her try to bring that in herself. It's heavy, And from there, she's like, oh yeah, I remember you. What do you need? What's up? And I told her I kind of wanted to follow through. Like, what foundation do I need to pursue this? And she spoke about you guys, CBET. She said that it's a great place to get that foundation, to get that beginning. And she also told me about some scholarships that I could try out for, if I wanted to. So that was about August of last year. So I tried to set everything up. I went ahead and applied for CBET, and I got everything started to get started in January, beginning with the CBET certificate program. And I ended up going back to my previous job as a locksmith just to kind of cover for everything. And to pay for school, I went ahead and got an overnight job as well. So I was working 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. as a locksmith, and then working 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. as an overnight stalker at a grocery store. And, I was burning myself out a little bit, but, I kind of had that goal that I wanted to reach. And being with CBET, you guys have been so flexible with that. And, just talking to all of my teachers, letting them know, hey, this is how life is going for me now, but I promise I am watching everything. I'm staying up to a day on the Zoom calls and making sure all my paperwork's going to be done by Sunday at least. And, all the professors have been so helpful with that. And through that, I still have maintained a 4.0 GPA with it. I ended up getting the Ohm's Law Foundation scholarship. And through that, I met Chase Torres, who has become another mentor for me.
Did Biomedical?
Yes. Very, very great man. I really appreciate him. He spoke to me, and we kind of talked about some things, and I told him, okay, what can I do to keep going in this as well? And he said, well, if I was you, I would try and go for the associates. And I said, I talked with my wife, and I was like, well, I think I'm in a pretty good spot with working these things, and I feel comfortable with how school's going. And I went ahead and called you guys and said, hey, can I transfer to the associates program? And it was literally like just the flip of a switch. It was so easy, there was nothing. I'm sure Shelby and everybody's tired of hearing from me. But and then from there, it's from January to now, it's just been, it's unimaginable what I've been through and what all the people that have helped me so far. And it's been so great. And this community has been so helpful to me, and it's so heartwarming that there's people out there that want to help the younger generation get to where they are, and not even get to where they are, but to help them go even further. And
that one chance call, knocking on Jules' door,
yes,
and learning about a career field that really nobody knows about,
yes,
led you to the college, obviously. So how did CBET prepare you for your goals, education-wise?
So through all of the classes, all of this stuff is brand new to me. So every new class is just something for me to learn. Especially with your class, with professional development, a lot of that has helped me along the way, especially with your elevator pitch and everything. It's helped even here at AAMI with their career fair. That whatever I used previous to that has transitioned into this. And even the other classes, one of my favorite classes was the BMET class. Learning about procedures, the preventive maintenance, the projects. One of the main projects was, the final project was find the machine, a piece of equipment that we didn't talk through the 6 weeks, and find the preventive maintenance manuals. Tell me how much it costs, what are some things that might fail, and what do you want to look at. And I had so much fun just looking up manuals and looking up everything. I ended up going with the GE Health Discovery. It was nuclear imaging equipment. And all those classes, especially with being flexible, being able to, whatever time I have to go into that, and just all the stuff that y'all give me, I love it, and I just love learning from it.
Suppose if you were working 2 jobs, our classes being 100% online certainly helped you, because obviously, as you said, you didn't have too much time, to attend a brick and mortar school. So, and of course, our instructors are awesome. So, what are you hoping for next? What are your goals?
So, a long-term goal, I should say a short-term goal for now. Although I am with Medtronic, their modality is very self-centered on that. I can move up, but it would take a while. I've always been one person to try to do different things. Even now at work, I've asked for overtime so I can learn the rebuild side, so I'm not impeding on anybody else. They've helped me with that as well. They're like, hey, we'll teach you this. Nobody's around. It's fine. And that helps them and me, because I'm learning more. And it helps them if somebody takes a day off or something like that. I can fill in for them.
And that's what we said to you in the PCDB course, that volunteer for everything, because although you may not get overtime for it, that is free education that you are learning, that you can put on your resume, that certainly adds value for the future. So
right.
It really does sound like everything that you were taught, the networking, coming here to AAMI, obviously you've got that outgoing personality, but everything that you've done and achieved up to this point, you've taken everything on board of what we've said. You've obviously got those skills yourself, extremely hardworking, and I know Leslie worked with you. Leslie worked with you a lot, Olivia. So as we said before, just when you leave our class, doesn't mean that you've left us. We like to work with our students, we like to work with our alumni. Obviously, all of your education transfers, if you do want to take some of those IT classes afterwards, that would definitely help you. But I know for us, it really has been a pleasure having you in all of our classes, getting to know you, and you certainly deserved all of those scholarships, because you've put in the hard work, the dedication that's needed to get to where you want to. You've got that goal, and without that goal, you're not going to achieve something if you don't have a goal. I just, I know we're extremely proud of you.
Thank you so much. And I kind of, just to go back onto that question, I know I didn't really finish answering that, but a goal for me, at least when I finish the school, I know your credits transfer, I believe I looked into it, and it goes to the University of Arizona, state of Arizona?
Charter College.
Yes, which is actually works well if I'm still with Medtronic by then. They actually offer full tuition to that college. So, I mean, all of my credits can transfer to there, and it would still get paid. Yes, and hopefully to get my bachelor's either in biomedical or HTM. So something in that realm. We'll see where it takes me by then. I should be completed with the associate's program by March, and then from there, sky's the limit at this point.
Well, that bachelor's will certainly help you in leadership, and you have the personality, you have the drive. You're going to be a great mentor for those coming through. And again, we just want to thank you for choosing CBET and trusting us with your education. And we're looking forward to following your career and learning everything. We'll be right behind you all the way.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. It's really nice to meet you.
That was so good meeting you.
Thank you.